Hi everyone, and thank you for joining me again to part 5 of our subject Finance in Korea. We discussed about banking and cards, and in this part we will cover more about cash and other financial services. Very exciting. So let's start with the cash and how it is used here in Korea. So first, the currency is Korean won, and you can see this is how it's represented. Korean won. We have bills. The amount is 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000. And we have the coins, which start from 1 to 500. Usually the major coins, if people use cash, is 100 won and 500 won. As we mentioned in lessons before, Korea is very advanced in the financial system. There's a lot of different applications and online banking that we can do. So the use of cash is actually relatively low, and it was counted for only around 20% of the financial transactions in 2017. That's of course is the reported cash, right? Cash is used as a payment, but it is also mainly used as gifts. So if someone is celebrating something, a birthday, wedding, or in funerals, it is still very popular to give cash. When you're purchasing something in cash and you have your E or F type visa, please make sure you're getting your cash receipt, and this will be for tax purposes. So at the end of the year, when you're doing your tax report, you can get tax back for amounts of cash. We have a separate course for those tax purposes as well, so make sure you check that course and know the details. But basically, your tax receipt will be connected to your phone number. So you can just put your phone number in, and that would be counted for your tax purposes. Finally, if you're using a large amount of cash, you can have it in form of a check, a bank check. And these checks usually start from 1 million won, 100만 won. If you need a large amount for a specific purpose, you can just get that check and pay with that check instead of cash. Other than what we discussed this course, we have other services that related to the finance industry, and I wanted to cover a couple of those with you. So first will be loans. The loan market, it is still not very easy to get a loan, and if you have a type F visa, that's the main visa that banks support the loans for. Also for non-Koreans, due to different risks, like people who left the country, even though that you're planning to stay here for long term, sometimes the banks might take a higher interest, or they can give the loan for a shorter period of time. It might happen, it will not necessarily happen, but just keep it in mind that they're kind of calculating the risk and being careful when it comes to non-Koreans. There are benefits, however, to non-Korean who are married to Korean, and they can get varied loans mainly for housing with a lower interest rate or better conditions. So as non-Koreans, we can also get benefits. So make sure you check with your bank which kind of benefits or which kind of loan types you can get. And this is something you can ask at the call center, which support English as well. Another service that I wanted to introduce is the stock market. Non-Koreans can definitely be involved in the stock market and trade and invest in the stock options. This might be through your bank account, through traders, or you can do it online or with apps. The Korea Stock Exchange Index is the KOSPI, is the most popular index in Korea. And if you're trading, you can benchmark this opening time of the market. Finally, another popular service that I wanted to introduce is a digital trading, and it's not necessarily only stock. It can be other things as well, such as digital coins, for example. Korea really has a lot of online trading markets and options and apps, so different apps support different things, and these days a lot of those apps support also English, so you can go ahead and look for those apps based on your interest. Since the Bitcoin had a huge year in 2017 and 18, government has started to actually regulate the cryptocurrency. So this is something that's happening now within digital trading as well. And finally, if you are digitally trading, there are very complex security settings, and this is due to times that people have tried to hack those kind of services. So it had become quite complex to register to those kind of services. We are at the end of part 5, and in part 6 I will dedicate it to a couple of tips from me to you. I'll see you at part 6.